Imagine a cold, unlike any other. This isn't the sort of chill you feel on a frosty winter morning in Britain. This is a deep, biting cold that can freeze exposed skin in minutes. We're talking about the Arctic, a vast white wilderness where temperatures can plummet to -40 degrees Celsius, and sometimes even colder. It's a place where the wind howls like a wolf, carrying ice crystals that sting your face. The sun might disappear for months on end, leaving the world in a state of perpetual twilight. This is the home of the Inuit, and it's one of the most extreme environments on our planet. It's a place that demands respect, skill, and an incredible will to live. Most of us think we know what cold feels like. We put on a hat and gloves, turn up the heating, and wait for it to pass. But in the Arctic, the cold is a constant companion. It seeps into everything. Metal becomes so brittle it can shatter like glass. A simple task, like tying your shoelaces, becomes a dangerous challenge if you have to take your gloves off. The air is so cold that it hurts to breathe in too deeply. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's life-threatening. Every single day is a battle against the elements, a test of your knowledge and your gear. It's a world where a small mistake can have massive consequences. Surviving here requires more than just guts. It requires genius. For thousands of years, the Inuit have not just endured this brutal landscape, they have mastered it. They have developed an incredible set of skills and knowledge passed down through generations. They understand the ice, the snow, and the animals, in a way that modern science is only just beginning to appreciate. Their survival isn't about fighting the cold head-on. It's about working with it, using the very elements that threaten them as tools for their own comfort and safety. It's a masterclass in human adaptation and ingenuity. This unforgiving environment is the ultimate test of survival. Forget everything you think you know about staying warm. In the Arctic, the rules are different. Your instincts might tell you to build a big fire, but fuel is scarce. They might tell you to bundle up in as many layers as possible, but sweating can be a death sentence. The Inuit learned long ago that to live here, you must think differently. You must see the world through their eyes, understanding that the snow beneath your feet is not just frozen water, it is the very building block of life itself, the key to creating warmth in the coldest place on Earth. When you're out in the wild, your shelter is your lifeline. In the Arctic, the Inuit perfected one of the most ingenious shelters ever conceived, the igloo. Forget the cartoon domes you see in pictures. A real igloo is a marvel of engineering, built from the one material that is always available: snow. But not just any snow will do. The Inuit know how to find hard-packed, dense snow, the kind that has been compressed by the wind. They cut this snow into large, sturdy blocks using a long knife, often made from bone or ivory. Each block is carefully shaped and placed in an upward spiraling circle, creating a strong, self-supporting dome structure. The genius of the igloo lies in its design and the material it's made from. Snow is an incredible insulator. Why? Because it's full of tiny trapped air pockets. These pockets prevent heat from escaping. While the temperature outside might be a deadly -40 degrees Celsius, the heat from a simple seal oil lamp and human body warmth can raise the inside temperature to a comfortable level, sometimes even above freezing. The dome shape is also crucial. It's incredibly strong, able to withstand the force of powerful Arctic winds, and it allows heat to circulate evenly inside, rather than getting trapped in corners. An igloo is more than just a dome. It has a clever, multi-level interior. The entrance is a short tunnel, often built below the main floor level. This acts as a cold trap. Since cold air is heavier than warm air, it sinks and gets trapped in this lower entrance tunnel, preventing it from flowing into the main living area. The sleeping platform is raised, built high up inside the dome where the warmest air collects. This simple but brilliant design means that the people inside are sleeping in the warmest part of the structure, elevated above the cold that settles on the floor. Building an igloo is a skill that takes immense practice and precision. An experienced Inuit hunter can build a solid, warm shelter for his family in just an hour or two. It's a race against time and the freezing cold. Every block must fit perfectly against the next. The final keystone block, placed at the very top, locks the entire structure together. Once built, this simple house of snow becomes a sanctuary, a warm, safe haven in the middle of a frozen wasteland. It's proof that sometimes the simplest solutions using what nature provides are the most effective. You might think that sealing an igloo up tight would be the best way to stay warm, but that would be a fatal mistake. The Inuit understood a critical principle of survival ventilation. Without a fresh supply of air, the oxygen inside would quickly be used up by the people breathing and the flame of their lamp. This would lead to carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide building up to deadly levels. To prevent this, a small hole is always cut near the top of the igloo dome. This simple hole is absolutely essential for life, allowing dangerous gases to escape and fresh air to enter. This ventilation hole does more than just keep the air safe to breathe. It also plays a crucial role in the structural integrity of the igloo itself. The warmth and moisture from people's breath and the lamp rise towards the ceiling. As this warm, moist air hits the cold inner surface of the snow blocks near the ventilation hole, it melts a thin layer of the snow. This water then seeps into the block and refreezes almost instantly, turning the porous snow into a solid layer of ice. This process is called glazing. It happens over and over again. This constant cycle of melting and refreezing makes the igloo incredibly strong. It essentially lines the inside of the dome with a shell of solid ice, reinforcing the structure and making it even more resilient against the crushing Arctic winds. So, the very act of living and breathing inside the igloo helps to make it a safer, more durable home. It's a fantastic example of a symbiotic relationship between the shelter and its inhabitants. The structure keeps the people alive, and the people, just by being there, make the structure stronger. It's a perfect feedback loop. This clever use of ventilation shows a deep understanding of physics and chemistry, learned not in a classroom but through generations of observation and experience. The Inuit knew that a balance had to be struck. The hole had to be big enough to allow for proper airflow but small enough to prevent too much precious heat from escaping. It's a delicate equilibrium, mastered over centuries. This small detail, often overlooked, is one of the most important secrets to the igloo's success, and a powerful lesson in how even the smallest adaptations can make the difference between life and death. In the Arctic, your clothing is your first line of defense. It's your personal shelter, the barrier that stands between your body and the killing cold. The Inuit developed what is arguably the most effective cold-weather clothing system on the planet, long before the invention of modern synthetic fabrics. Their secret was using natural materials, primarily the skins and fur of the animals they hunted, like caribou and seal. They understood that the key to staying warm wasn't just about insulation, it was also about staying dry. Getting wet from sweat is one of the biggest dangers in the cold. The traditional Inuit parka, or anorak, is a masterpiece of design. It was often made from 2 layers of caribou skin. Caribou hair is hollow, which means it traps a huge amount of air, making it one of the best natural insulators in the world. The inner layer of the parka would be worn with the fur facing inwards, trapping body heat right next to the skin. The outer layer would be worn with the fur facing outwards, which helped to shed snow and block the wind. This double-layer system created a thick pocket of warm air around the body, keeping the wearer incredibly warm. Just as important as the parka were the trousers and boots, or kamiks. The boots were often made from sealskin, which is naturally waterproof. This was essential for keeping feet dry when walking across wet sea ice, or through melting snow. The boots were stitched together with sinew, which is animal tendon. When sinew gets wet, it swells up, tightening the stitches and making the seams completely waterproof. This is a level of detail and ingenuity that is just mind-blowing. Inside the boots, they would wear liners made of soft fur or dried grass for extra insulation and to absorb any sweat. The entire clothing system was designed to be breathable. The furs allowed moisture from sweat to escape, preventing it from getting trapped and freezing next to the skin. The hood of the parka was often trimmed with wolverine, or wolf fur. These furs are special because they don't hold frost. Ice crystals from your breath can be easily brushed away, preventing a dangerous buildup of ice around your face. Every single element of their clothing was perfectly adapted for the environment, a testament to their deep knowledge of the natural world and how to use it to create comfort and safety. When you put all these pieces together, the ingenious igloo, the clever ventilation, and the perfectly designed clothing, you begin to see a complete picture. This isn't just about scraping by or barely surviving. The Inuit system of adaptation allowed them to create a life of relative comfort and security in an environment that most would consider uninhabitable. Inside their warm igloos, shielded from the raging blizzards outside, families could gather, share stories, cook food, and repair their tools. It was a place of community and warmth in the heart of the cold. Think about the psychological advantage this provides. Survival isn't just a physical battle, it's a mental one. Having a warm, safe place to return to after a long day of hunting in the freezing cold is crucial for morale. It allows you to rest, recover, and prepare for the next day's challenges. The Inuit didn't just survive the Arctic winter, they lived in it. They developed a rich culture, a complex social structure, and a deep spiritual connection to their land. This would not have been possible if they were constantly on the brink of freezing to death. Their innovations gave them the security they needed to flourish. Their diet, rich in fat and protein from seals, whales, and fish, provided the high-energy fuel needed to generate body heat. The seal oil lamp, the kolik, was the center of the home. It provided not just light and heat for cooking, but also a constant, gentle warmth that made the igloo a comfortable living space. This combination of shelter, clothing, and diet formed a holistic survival strategy. Each element supported the others, creating a system that was far greater than the sum of its parts. It was a lifestyle completely in tune with the rhythms of the Arctic. This ability to create comfort in such an extreme place is the ultimate proof of their success. It challenges our modern ideas of what comfort means. We rely on central heating, electricity, and supermarkets. The Inuit relied on their knowledge, their skills, and the resources of the land around them. They showed that with the right approach, human beings can make a home almost anywhere. They didn't conquer the Arctic, they learned to live in harmony with it, turning its harshest features to their own advantage. It's a powerful story of resilience and intelligence. The story of the Inuit is more than just a fascinating tale of survival. It's a powerful lesson for all of us about human resilience. It shows that our ability to think, innovate, and adapt is our greatest tool. Faced with the most extreme cold on the planet, the Inuit didn't give up. They observed, they learned, and they engineered brilliant solutions using only what was available to them. They proved that the human spirit is tough, and that with knowledge and determination, we can overcome incredible obstacles. Their legacy is written on the ice itself. We can also learn a great deal about sustainability from the Inuit way of life. For millennia, they lived in perfect balance with their environment. They took only what they needed, used every part of the animals they hunted, and left a minimal footprint on the landscape. In a world where we are facing the consequences of our own overconsumption and disconnection from nature, the Inuit offer a powerful alternative. They show us that it is possible to live well without destroying the world around us, a lesson that has never been more relevant than it is today, on this day, January 28, 2026. Their ingenuity forces us to reconsider our own relationship with technology. We often look for complex, high-tech solutions to our problems. The Inuit, however, mastered the art of simple, effective design. An igloo is a low-tech, biodegradable, and incredibly efficient structure. Their clothing system outperforms many modern fabrics. It reminds us that the most elegant solution is often the simplest one, and that deep knowledge of natural principles can be more powerful than any complex machine. We should never underestimate the power of brilliant, fundamental design. Ultimately, the Inuit teach us respect. Respect for the power of nature, respect for the knowledge passed down through generations, and respect for the human ability to adapt and thrive. They are a living testament to the fact that we are a part of the natural world, not separate from it. By understanding and working with nature, they did more than just survive in the Arctic. They made it their home. Their story is an inspiration, a reminder of what we are capable of when we combine our courage with our intelligence. It's a true story of man versus wild, and in this case, man found a way to win.